Proximate causation explains how behaviors occur, while ultimate causation explains why they occur. Behaviors vary in flexibility and the extent to which they are learned or innate. Behavior refers to response to stimulus. For example, pond-dwelling bacteria swim toward drops of blood that fall into water. Time-lapse films of young sunflowers show them steadily moving throughout the day, turning to face the shifting sun. But older flowers you see here don't track the sun. Instead, they face east to attract more pollinators. Among animals, action may be surprising, such as this hog-nosed snake playing dead, waiting to strike a curious prey. Ecology examines how organisms interact with the physical and biological environments they live in. So behavioral ecology analyzes how organisms respond to particular stimuli from their environments. While the primary focus of behavioral ecology is at the level of the organism, this field integrates levels from molecules up to ecosystems, depending on the question being asked. To understand why animals and other organisms do what they do, researchers ask questions about genetics, development, anatomy, physiology, evolution, and ecology. Behavioral ecologists test hypotheses at two fundamental levels, of proximate and ultimate questions. Most behavioral studies begin with observing what animals do in response to specific situations. Investigators use experimentation to investigate the proximate and ultimate causes of behavior. Proximate causation seeks to explain specific mechanisms of how actions occur by asking questions like, does a neural or hormonal signal trigger an animal's courtship display? Or does the display vary according to diet, temperature, or other factors? Ultimate causation explains why actions occur based on their evolutionary consequences and histories. Behavior is like other phenotypes in that it can evolve by natural selection. A behavior is adaptive if it increases an individual's fitness, meaning stability, to produce viable, fertile offspring. There are many ways a behavior might help individuals to produce offspring in a particular environment. Investigating behavior at the proximate and ultimate levels can often work together well. By investigating both how the behavior happens and why, biologists can better understand what an organism is doing. One example is the Argentine ant. In Argentina, where they come from, they live in colonies and defend their territories from other Argentine ant populations. But human food shipments have allowed the ants to invade regions all over the world. The colonies do not fight each other here and instead team up as super colonies to fight the native ants. The ants identify each other by smelling waxy hydrocarbon tags on each other's exoskeletons. These molecules are synthesized through chemical pathways, genetically encoded and subject to mutation. The same is true for many species. Human body odor is actually highly variable due to the presence of pheromones, which are very diverse. Mutations in the genes that code for these scent tags alter their molecular structure, which affects the way they smell. In Argentina, where these ants have evolved and diversified over billions of generations, the diversity of these scent tags is high enough that different ant populations recognize each other as enemies. Surprisingly, the Argentine ants imported to California accept most other members of their species as nestmates. Unlike Argentine ant populations in South America, the Argentine ant colonies in California lack genetic variation in this trait. Because they smell the same as nestmates, they accept each other as super colony instead of as enemies. So the proximate cause for unusually friendly behavior among Argentine ants is the genetically determined scent that signals the ants to avoid fighting each other. By contrast, the very unfamiliar scents of California's native ants are recognized as signals to attack.